Hi everyone, Ronald Ingram here, your rebel banker futurist, broadcasting live right now from the Nevada high desert, looking down on the Luxor pyramid. We're going out on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and everywhere else the signal reaches. So big day. Today is the first day of BROK Live. BROK is live now, and we had a great launch event, and want to be clear about what the expectations were and what the goals were, and what's been achieved here. This really and some patterns that are changing as well. And this it's a bit of cognitive dissonance, I think, for some folks who are accustomed to the meme universe versus the product and business universe. So in the most aggressive startup universe that you could imagine, uh, BROK is breaking records in the speed of delivery of this. Was a concept. BROK was a concept. March 27th, the day that we launched, 10 days that we launched SPOCK. So just sort of bring everyone back to that day, that first rushed launch. Actually, that was a rushed launch because we wanted to launch SPOCK as quickly as we possibly could, with all the functionality baked in for the global agentic banking system that is envisioned, that was not rushed. That has been something that's been in the works for decades in my mind, and with patents going back 10 plus years, right? But everything had coalesced into this moment where we had the CFTC and the SEC, who had put out the guidance on what is a digital asset, and clarifying that SPOCK and tokens, in a variety of different tokens, from meme coins, NFTs, utility coins, are digital assets and not securities and not currencies. And a new category of asset basically was delineated at that moment in time, allowing me as a banker to put my name on a project and be fully doxed, longtime banker, innovator in financial technology, inventor of the term neobank, and author, futurist on the future of banking, all of these things, educator, to finally put my name on a crypto project. I still think that I'm the first banker to do so. So that alone is a milestone that moved the needle. And so we're doing things very unconventionally on every different level. And so sometimes what we think we know can hold us back from seeing things as they are. And what you have to look at what we're doing with a new lens, a new point of view. We are concurrently launching, and have launched back in March 27th, we launched SPOCK, the utility meme coin that is fueling all the things that we're building. We're building real products, really sophisticated artificial intelligence, patented intellectual property that has never been seen by definition, right? This is not hype. This is, when you patent something, it means that it's novel by definition. So we have developed things, invented things that are novel and new, that have never been seen before, and all of these things are represented by the AI that we know colloquially as the super robo genius private banker, BROK. So this is really exciting, and what was exciting is not I have to put myself as well in the mindset of all the different types of people that are involved in this project, from the people that are looking for and have been involved in meme coins maybe exclusively from the outset, to the newbies who have never done crypto before, who've been joining into SPOCK in droves and are patient and give us these more sustainable valuations that you don't usually see in meme coins, and people that real business people that who are trading as a business, but sort of real business people, startup people who build businesses and who have been successfully built multi-million-dollar businesses, people who operate businesses, many business owners, many institutions, and and large institutions as well that we're in discussions with, that make decisions very slowly. They do due diligence, and they negotiate, and they don't usually participate in meme coins at all. So we're bringing all kinds of new people into the space, and we're doing new things, and there are great rewards to those that are that plow ahead into new domains and do novel things. Think about the advent of electricity and AC power, and some of the first inventions that were built on this new grid of AC power. Well, actually, DC power initially powered light bulbs. And thinking about light bulbs, the innovation of light bulbs, the light didn't really go off. Lights didn't really come on, so to speak, until AC power came along and provided stable grids that were widely dispersed. Prior to the AC grid developed by Nikola Tesla, we did have light bulbs, but they were powered by DC grids that could only light a few blocks, and at a time. And so America wasn't lit up literally until you had both the light bulb and the precursor of modern electrical grids, which really haven't changed all that much from Nikola Tesla's invention. We're doing Nikola Tesla stage innovation in artificial intelligence, and or maybe more humbly, we want to say we're doing, actually maybe it'd be better to say that we're doing light bulb innovation on top of the on top of the grid being DeFi and decentralized. That would be a better analogy. So Solana, Bitcoin, that's the grid. Those are the grids that we're building on, and others were building for DC grids and building their businesses, building products on old technology, on old grids, on old infrastructure. We're building our global agentic banking system on this new infrastructure, and it's a very big multi-year project that we're engaged in. So I'm very pleased with what we had yesterday. Was today being the first day that BROK is live in the world. All kinds of upgrades were made, even into the wee hours last night at midnight. A whole new archive was added, and some of there's a lot of innovation and depth in BROK as well. Many layers to things. I like layers, and it's like, well, I'm a multi-layered, multifaceted person, and BROK is reflective of that. So there are some deep secrets, ancient secret recipes, if you will, literally from ancient philosophies all around the world. Basically, BuddhaBot, right? So if you remember, BuddhaBot launched July 24th, 22 years ago. So late last night, I merged essentially some of the elements of BuddhaBot into a more sort of subconscious tier of BROK. So really, it's kind of just a fun thing for those real seekers out there that want to find. You can find an endless amount of information that is on modern technology and science, as well as the ancient mysteries as well. So that's kind of fun and just but very meaningful for those that wish to evolve. And I've always said since the beginning, this is about health as well as wealth. So there's always these things that I don't emphasize as much because, frankly, not as many people are interested in their health. Very short-sighted, but it is what it is. Most people are interested in wealth more so than health. But you know what? Health is actually a pretty big industry too. So it's not purely for entertainment purposes. Understanding health, and that means mental health, that means consciousness, that means self-awareness, metacognition. That is one of the most important aspects of our health and our and powers. That's the power that energizes us, and the enzymes and hormones and neurotransmitters are we talk about our heart and how we feel and how that is a guide and a compass in all that we do. Well, hormones and neurotransmitters are a big part of what are the mechanics of how our hearts and our emotions work too. So you can't really separate science from, you can't really separate the logical from the emotional universe either. It's all one thing. However, you need to segment and compartmentalize to understand things in a way that our human container of consciousness can comprehend. So these are really vast, esoteric, fun things that you could explore and go very, very deep on. But you can also keep it super simple. And that's what I'm always striving for, is simplicity. So same thing with the technology that you see in BROK today. You can go to BROK, B-R-O-K, the .neobanks with an X.com. It's in the description. It's all over the place. You can click on that today and you get 100 free tokens. And what is 100 tokens? We know now the meme folks that are here, that's not very much right now at our current value. That's not very, that's a very small number of tokens in terms of the fungible financial value of SPOC in terms of its equivalency in US dollars. That's quite a small amount right now. But in terms of what you can do with it, and intentionally I've made this, I've provided all of BROK's services for very low token utilization. So the Ingram evaluation matrix for evaluating businesses. And now I have examples of real business people that are utilizing BROK every day already for high stakes decisions using the Ingram evaluation matrix. Real businesses, multi-million dollar businesses, tens of millions of dollars at stake. The decision makers are using the Ingram evaluation matrix right now. They're using BROK to evaluate contracts, real estate transactions, investment proposals. They're using BROK to analyze and evaluate that right now as not as a financial advisor, not as a CPA, not as a lawyer, as a super robo genius banker, or it might be more familiar to refer to BROK as if you need to put it in a box, as a digital financial assistant, in the very prosaic, boring way of saying it, and which I don't really like saying, because BROK is so far beyond the rest of the field, even compared to, in my completely biased opinion, the many of the best models that are out there, because BROK is not just a model. BROK is the whole package. We have, it has OpenClaw and Hermes baked in. It has Agent Zero, Playwright, Gemini Pro is a big part of it. and GROK CLI and the latest, greatest, heaviest versions of GROK have been utilized extensively, plus our own proprietary, completely novel. No one else has a memory structure and system set up the way that we do for persistence of memory that's designed, again, for health and wealth. I think many models are designed to be all things to everyone, and that's fine. That's great. That is like the grid. Again, that's like these models connected together. These models provide infrastructure and a grid that is waiting for the intelligence, right? It's just like a programming language without a program is not very useful until you use it and build on it. That is, BROK is the utility that's built on top of the infrastructure, which has been scaling and building and getting better and more robust all the time. That is a tide that's lifting all boats, and we've built a very sophisticated boat that is floating on this tide and is able to move faster and do things that no other AI out there can do in the business, in the wealth realm. And ask BROK for specific examples for that. So yeah, so if I didn't cover it to your satisfaction in the Spock talk today, you can satisfy yourself and everyone that I've spoken to that's spoken to BROK recently. And thank you for all of the folks that who participated early on in the beta from day one, which started only about 10 days ago now, ahead of schedule. So we've shipped less than 100,000 lines of code, but we've written hundreds of 165,000 plus lines of code. We have, with our first press release, we had 10.6 million eyeballs that have been exposed to BROK. This is all creating that baseline of awareness on the heels of the event yesterday. And one of the main goals for yesterday was to get good quality video footage. Well, we had, again, exceeding expectations there. We had a full film production crew there, unsolicited, connected to the television show that I'm going to be doing in Friday, which is going to give us tens of millions of more exposures. This is real traction. This is real traction that we have. And this is, more importantly, the foundation for a startup, for a business. From a business perspective, business owners are blown away by what we've accomplished. Now, creating a meme coin is frankly is such a minuscule thing compared to what we're building here. A meme token is marketing, which is a successful meme coin is really marketing, and that's it. It is. There's not a lot of tech. There's like 1 iota of technology compared to what we have and what we built here, right? And I'll share that. I've got that 10-pointer that shows all the things. If you compare a meme coin to what our whole stack is, Spock plus BROK plus all the tools of BROK, the Neo score, the Ingram evaluation matrix, now the business canvas, now the Enneagram, then the biological age calculator, the perfect starting point to start to your health journey if you decide to undertake that dimension of self-improvement. That is a lot of development, a lot of real utility. And so I think part of it may be because meme coins are built entirely around marketing, only around a name, around a concept, and getting the word out, and that's it. So basically pure marketing, whether it's based on a celebrity or a fun concept or a fun piece of artwork or the most ephemeral, fleeting moment in news. that it's the reason it's a flash in the pan is because it is capturing a moment that and these moments flow, and most of them go with the flow and are gone within 24 hours, right? This, can you see? Surely everyone can see that that is from that space. I know business people see it, but for meme folks, I want you to really just reset, rethink, think about how this is different. I've provided many tools, graphical and otherwise, to help get that concept, that principle across, right? So we had the full production crew there, and now that means, because of, again, it's quality, right? Is again, so with meme coins, a lot of times the a lot of it's fresh, novel, very moving very quickly, and not super polished, right? So when you have a professional crew that have taken all their footage, now they're putting the footage all together to create something that'll be the most professional I would expect that we have ever seen, professional video production that we've ever seen. And so that will take I don't know, a few days, a week, maybe, till we see that final finished product. In the meantime, it's set up along with all the other things that are building, and everything being timed perfectly. So you can't get, the marketing and media and PR can't get too far ahead of the delivery of a product, right? So now we have an operating, functional, exceedingly capable artificial intelligence known as BROK that has been released in the wild. It's available to anyone, anywhere in the world. And so that happened yesterday. So today is day one. And we would have been really missing in there would have been we wouldn't have expectations would have been too high if we for a real product with real utility. If we were marketing a real product, real utility a month ago, that would have been too early to start the press the press rollout, because there's a chance, it's small, but there's a chance that with one good press release, you can trigger a product can go viral. One big news station and catches one producer's eye, and boom, the whole thing takes off on live national media, right? So you have to be prepared for that. It happens, right? So you have to be prepared for that. So BROK had to be scalable and workable, and that was achieved before any mass media started. So we timed that. The mass media started as early as it possibly could, right? A day or two before the actual launch, ahead of the launch, because that's how confident we were that it would already scale at that point. And we've just, the last few days, just minor tweaks, additional features like financial statements. Did you know BROK can do your financial statements for you now? It can build financial statements. It can analyze financial statements. It can look at an auditor's report. These are valuable, very valuable services to businesses that they would pay a lot of money for. And most of these things, back to the value of these 100 tokens, it's the value of services that you're getting. So the Ingram valuation matrix, to run that on a business plan or investment, the cost is 2 tokens, right? And so less than a penny right now. Same thing with the Ingram Enneagram, the personality test. All of those services are all basically 2 tokens. So you can try everything that BROK has to offer with those 100 tokens, and that's the purpose. So those 100 tokens remain in the Genius wallet, right? They don't move on chain. Now, people add to that, they do top ups, and many of them have. There's thousands and thousands of dollars yesterday that came in through Stripe and through credit cards. And this is another thing it really needs you to understand. So we have integrated with the top payment gateway in the world to accept credit cards, debit cards, ACH, Apple Pay. This makes it exceedingly easy for anybody, for a newbie, for a normie, for somebody that has never done crypto before, to instantly get. And this was a huge barrier. If you go back and listen, but if you're hearing us this for the first time, that was a huge barrier to entry. Many people have not tried crypto because it is so inconvenient compared to buying something on Amazon. Now, because it was all set up back on the March 17th, now that, that's because SPOCK is a digital asset, that means we could set it up. It is as a digital asset. It's really like an ebook or any other thing that you would buy, a collectible, any digital product that is made up of electrons that you can buy online. You don't need to do KYC to buy a book on Amazon, to buy an ebook, right? But because of the lack of clarity that surrounded crypto, what it is it a security? Is it a currency? All of these things that crypto wallets, the legacy crypto wallets, funny to say that, we're onto the second, third, fourth generation of crypto, but even though it's only been around for a few years, we're already talking about legacy crypto. But legacy crypto, legacy wallets, even the best ones had to have, because they hold so many assets. That's a blessing and a curse, because they have to have the necessary know your customer, KYC rules and AML in place to consummate those transactions and settle those transactions. And we do not, because our wallet is, we have a SPOCK wallet that is designed to facilitate interactions with BROK and to utilize that digital product and service. Products meaning the reports that are generated. So all of these, the analysis that you get, like the Ingram evaluation matrix, the bioage calculator, all of these things generate beautiful PDF reports that you can print out. Digital products. All of this are digital products. This is a digital asset with a tremendous amount of value and increasing value because of the scarce number of the limited number of tokens that were issued, just like Bitcoin. In that regard, the scarcity element. And now we've got a whole new, the utility mechanism we've always talked about. Now that's kicked in. And so now people are using credit cards, debit cards to buy these digital assets, and which trigger buybacks, right? So 20% of any digital so if somebody buys $1,000 worth of BROK services using SPOCK, so they buy $1,000 USD worth of SPOCK on their credit card, that takes days for that transaction to settle. So that, and they can leave it on they have those tokens are reserved at that, they're part of the treasury, part of the market capitalization of SPOCK. But they don't immediately create the explosions that you're used to seeing when you get thousands and thousands of dollars immediately hitting the DEX, right? So so this is a good thing in that it for a real long-term project that is going to be around for years and years and years and decades and a long time, right through to the eventual implementation and execution of the interstellar global banking system, the agentic banking system. We've got a long road ahead of us, and with many huge milestones along the way. And yesterday was a big one, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome. So back to the marketing strategy. So the press release, 10.6 million people were exposed to SPOCK. We had dozens and dozens of pickups from news media, publishing press releases, all of that stuff. And so for the first time, now sometimes you have to be ready to scale, right? You can't put that first thing out until you're ready to scale. Usually though, it takes multiple exposures before a new idea, a new product, a new brand gains traction in the collective consciousness of a community. And we're global out of the gate. So so that was so a couple of days ago we had exposure number 1. What happens next? Well, there's a big event on, again, just there's so much happening. It's on Monday. There's a Rare Evo Crypto Monday collaboration that I'm involved in on Monday. Right, a lot of you didn't even know that. I kept not even putting out all the announcements quickly enough. So that's a big event, and don't know how big an impact that will have. That could be quite large as well, right? You never know. But now we're ready. Now BROK is ready to scale. So that's a big event. We have on August 15th, Tech Alley. There may be a cover of a publication that I'm on related to that. And that again, you know, that is another exposure. This one, and each one has cool angles to it. So this one is going to be in a big theater. So you'll see BROK on like a 20-foot screen and be able to interact with BROK. So that'll be some, and we'll have likely a film crew for that as well. And so that's building the content. We're building this baseline of content, building the brand, building the awareness. And any one of these things could go viral, or enough to start going viral. Now we're ready to go viral because BROK works. So we have, there's a private jet magazine for a private business airline. I'll put this in the notes too. I'll wait till the date is set, but that's upcoming, imminent. We're just nailing down the date. Big article, getting to people that fly in private jets, that charter private jets. They tend to be people of means. So this is a very nicely this is a very nice target, and they're interested in hearing about me, about the future of business, the future of banking, and the latest developments in crypto and how crypto affects banking. Also, many of you don't know this, but I have had an interest for a long time in aerospace and patents and designs. You know, that's we've got to that's the retirement project for when I'm 150, maybe. I don't know. So we won't, you won't hear a lot about that, but maybe you will actually, because that's what one of the things that interested the CEO of the airline and the publisher of this magazine to want to interview me. It wasn't just the banking and being a futurist on quantum banking. And crypto and also the Vegas banking zone, and the idea of creating Monaco West, that's getting more and more traction. I'm talking to more and more people, and again, this is it's not like the meme world. This is like you have multiple exposures and interactions that build up over time, and it takes a tremendous amount of it takes a commitment. You need to have a dev that's passionate and believes this needs to be more than a quick buck. This needs to be a mission and a vision. And I think from my talks, hopefully you understand that about us, that we have a vision here to not just a vision, but we are taking steps to decentralize finance in the most global, effective, powerful and granular way, from one individual at a time all the way to the top. So this is a very, very big lifetime, life's work kind of vision that is underway. And we're really happy for any of you that want to join along and for part of the journey or the whole journey. It's going to be a wild ride in a good way. So I couldn't be more thrilled. Like in the world of real business, of real banking, the pace that we are moving at and that what we are executing on and what we're delivering is tremendous. Here's a little timeline. That's a bit small, but you can see, you know, just if you want to look at that after, you know, where that just shows the trajectory since the SPOCK launch, you know, and patents, you know, 4 new provisional patents, including a extension and expansion of my original issued patent. The NEO score, which is a business unto itself, but it is, all of these things are connected and related. They are obviously part of one vision. You need to have credit scoring and risk assessment and ID verification to have a global agentic banking system. You need the ability to do value exchange globally, securely, with quantum resilience in mind, to have a banking system that is decentralized and is quantum resilient and will survive Q day. Everything that we're building is built for the future and for today and for the future. Whereas it's we have an advantage in this regard because it's very difficult to retrofit all of these, in many cases, ancient systems. Credit scoring, the legacy credit scoring model is a very ancient system, and that they've been upgrading and have a lot of resources, but it's not just time and money. Legacy infrastructure has an inertia that is a gravity to it that is inescapable through not just the technology, but the regulations and contracts and all of that. And that's why our global agentic banking system considers not just technology, but considers regulatory compliance and how to operate within the laws of the land and sea and space. So this is a big vision. You have to if you don't do your research and you're expecting a meme coin, you're going to be disappointed. And so either do your research and familiarize yourself with some of these aspects, just one little bit at a time. Do one little bit of research, and that knowledge will grow over time. The most persistent investors in this digital asset are the ones that have done the most research. They become ever more enthusiastic about this project, and you see it in the posts that they make and in the work that they do. And we have one shout out to Crypto Canvas, who made the trip over from San Francisco. Always really insightful work, you know, on X, very prolific, and a very large group on YouTube and on other social platforms, on Patreon. So had a great chat with Andrew from Crypto Canvas. Hopefully it was okay for me to share your first name. And the leaders of two leaders from, to be specific, from Crypto Monday, actually, yeah, several people from Crypto Monday, but by leaders I mean the chapter head and actually 2 other leaders. So many people from Crypto Monday, which is also Stand with Crypto. If you ever go on Coinbase or you're in America, actually, Crypto Monday is a global organization. So advocating for crypto, for clarity and crypto regulation and decentralized finance around the world. Become closely associated with them at the chapter head of all of America, and meet regularly with the group in Vegas. I'm meeting with lobbyists, with city leaders. We have lobbyists now in our network. We are putting together a powerful, and not independent. We are joining with like-minded individuals that see the need for what we're doing as part of the overall puzzle, as part to lift, to raise the tide. So while we're building the boat that floats on the that's lifted by the tide, and the light bulbs that are powered by the grid, we are also very actively working in the grid. That's why I used to, we are participants in building that infrastructure as well. And I've been to Solana events in San Francisco, invited to Solana events that I haven't been able to make them all. Maybe, hey, with this private jet connection, I'll be able to jet around more conveniently as well. So we are dialed into all the biggest things that are going on and are coming, and are provide key pieces that, like this global agentic banking system has people thinking and dreaming and building. And the Vegas banking zone, this idea of Monaco West, where we have a more open regulatory environment to operate in. It doesn't exist yet, but we've got more and more people talking about this Monaco West, this VBZ idea. And I put forward to Tim Scott, the head of the Senate Banking Committee, idea for a similar zone in South Carolina, in Charleston, which used to be one of the centers of enterprise in the early days of America. It was the original New York, actually, if you go back far enough. So we need to see the big picture. Step back, stop looking at candles, stop chasing green candles, and step back for a second and look at the bigger picture, what we're doing here. And I will do a better job of putting on the magnifying glass and make sure I am looking at those candles too, right? So that's valid too, but I think that there's been a little bit too much focus maybe sometimes by some folks on that next tick, right? The next $1,000 transaction or whatever. So we are building something real here, and it is coming to fruition. So what's next? I've heard that so we're there are some great feedback on the interface, and I have been making minor tweaks to the web app, which you can access on your phone, but it's a bit crowded on the phone. And I listen to everybody. Those that have reached out to me, they'll often say, and I would encourage you not to just say this to me, but if you've experienced this, share it with the community, like how quickly we've adapted and made changes. This is why I really like constructive feedback and criticism. It's like, hey, this color scheme or this font is too tight, like really detailed things like that. We make changes sometimes in hours. Version on Git, we're on version 1 launch, I believe 1.0 launch, the launch version, the stable launch version. But we had 0.01 and 1.1 and 1.01 and 1.02 and we've committed probably 11. We've done 11 updates, commits to Git, I think, to of versions, just in the last 10 days. That's what I say, over 165,000 lines of code have been written, and a real working product that ships. And it works. It's great on both mobile and the PC. On the PC, it's not crowded. The avatar and everything works just fine. And but you burn tokens. That there's no way around that. It's so try it out. The animated avatar with voice. It's cool to see. It's cool to show people. But it automatically will turn itself off now, so that people don't accidentally burn tokens. If you had tokens burnt accidentally, you can send an email to info@neobanks.com and tell us what happened, and we'll be fair and refund tokens if you bought them, and even give you more tokens if you just burnt through your initial gift tokens or trial tokens more quickly than you expected. We'll be happy to look at giving you some more. Just explain the situation and send us the email. But let's try something here. Yeah, so here is BROK. I'm sharing the screen now, and yeah, so I had this little eyeball, if you can see my cursor, and I've had the eyeball clicked on, so it masks information, potentially sensitive information, balances, that type of thing, and you have the avatar on, and the voice on. So let's just and you can talk. Let's so you can click on the mic. BROK, tell us what you can do. And so I'll just show you a few things here on BROK in the last few minutes. And let's see. So this is the live avatar. Yeah, so we cut the audio. I did that so that people didn't burn through tokens too quick. But here BROK goes on to say in the text, right? So and this is what you do: you turn the avatar off, and then you will get you will always get the full text. And if you turn the voice off as well, the text is you can interact for quite a long period of time just with text alone. And there is history. You can find your history, and here are the different. So the business canvas is something that every small business should do. The Enneagram test, it's a simple 8-question test that you can do, and you see it's pretty easy to navigate. Here's your wallet, the Genius wallet, and you can now just buy tokens. If you click on one of these buttons, it'll connect you to the credit and debit card interface. You can this is a free text field that's pre-populated with $50. I've seen people enter thousands, $50,000 even. It really all depends on the limit of your credit card. And like I said, I won't click on that, because then that'll pop up and it'll populate with my credit card information. But if you click on, if you enter a number, if you click on, so I got $9.99, $19.99, $99.99, and you click one click, and it may ask you for your zip code, or you may have to enter your whole card number one time, and then Stripe, one of the main payment gateways in the world, will connect with that. So, and then if you want to move your tokens on chain, you can do so very easily. You will you just click move. Well, first you enter your Solana wallet here, and so I've got the dev wallet linked up there. That's public information, so that's fine. Anybody can send money to that address anytime, so I can move my tokens off of BROK. I've already got this pre-filled, linked, and so after you link once, it's always connected. Click on that, and it will transfer that amount less 100 tokens, right? Because to keep a buffer so that you can still interact with BROK, because it doesn't take a lot of tokens to do. You can do a lot with a very few number of tokens. Family sub wallets, you can set up just with you can put a nickname, you can put a note, and create a just click on create, and you can you can enter an amount of SPOC in there, and that'll come from your main wallet. And yeah, very, very easy to do. And this is great for parents, and you don't have to take a child down to the bank and get a signature card signed. You can get them started in crypto, digital assets, and have a sub account set up for them very, very easily here. So just some of the bio age calculator. You can, and this is not medical advice, and so the first time you click on there on the BROK bio age calculator, you'll see a note that this is not medical advice, but you can upload your labs, and it will automatically and tick off. There's a couple of things that you can tick off, which are self-explanatory. And if you're not sure about anything ever, you can always just ask BROK. So you can enter your labs. I won't, if I click on here, I'll show you my whole hard drive, so I won't do that right now. And then just grab your LabCorp. If you're in the United States, that's a popular third-party lab. It also works in Canada, it works in the UK. We've had people test it out. And it will turn all these numbers that are red, it'll turn them into green. You see, there's tooltips here. It tells you what your hemoglobin A1C is. And and that's what you should use, not glucose for measuring your glucose levels. Use your A1C instead of and this is not medical advice. This is what we use in biohacking. This is what I do, and this is these are the latest tools in biohacking. So when you do all this, and I'll show you another time if you want, but try it out for yourself. You just upload your labs, and then it'll generate earlier on I showed what my results looked like, and I came out to be 41.6 years. Yeah, so younger than quite a bit younger than my chronological age, and that's been getting better all the time. So these are all things that you can just go to brok.neobanks.com, and you'll see this, and just click talk to BROK, and you've got 100 tokens to experiment with and play around with. So hopefully that came up on screen for you, and if not, that you know what to do. And just go to the website, and you can experiment. So other things that yeah, so congratulations if you're in on this. This is literally the first day of BROK being live and open and accessible to the world. And this is not, and just really need to be starting to get your head around the idea that this is not and I posted some more. I posted the historical milestones so you can see how much we've shipped, how much code we've shipped, finished product that's been shipped. You can see all of that, and start to think more about what this is for the long term. And so the app is going to come out. So we're going to take all of the advice and feedback that we've had from people on the interface, and we're going to incorporate that into an app, and that will be easier to use and read on a phone, simpler, less detail, but need to balance between. I don't want to remove any functionality from you, but we'll do some iteration on the design to give you a really nice, clean app that you can download from an app store. That's probably maybe, let's say, 5 weeks away. I've been saying 4 weeks, but let's leave a little bit of time in there for Apple to approve, because that's not entirely within our control. I've done it before. Normally, again, in startup world, it takes months. It's 9 months to a year. Now that's been getting faster and faster, but prior apps, would be typically $500,000 and 9 months to build an app like I'm going to build here in 4 weeks. Okay. So we are delivering, we are shipping, and I think that I appreciate the appreciation from all the folks that recognize that is quite an accomplishment, what we've already done, and we are just getting started. So congratulations, you're very early if you're listening to this, and you'll be seeing in growing numbers as we ramp up with more and more press releases, more events. The next thing after the app is really, so the app is, there's going to be more features. I'm adding more features almost every week. Like this last week, I added financial statements, and that's a pretty big feature, and lots of little things. The archives, these secret archives, which not very many people will use, but those few diligent seekers will have a lot of fun with that. And the next thing after that is a really, really big one, and that is the NEO score, and which is a patented, our most robust core patent that I've now extended to apply to machines as well, to provide a filter so we can determine, we can separate malign versus benign actors, and that could be may have applications far beyond banking. Like, wouldn't it be great to know a little bit more about devs that are launching coins on Pump Fund, and that are, and to be able to identify those that are serial scammers. That would be a service to humanity. And if you've ever been on the other end of scams of any kind, that's something that, so the NEO score it provides real utility and ability to be able to differentiate between malign and benign actors. Now, sometimes benign actors are well-intended, but they don't always perform either. But this is an alternative to traditional credit scoring, and it's global because it's based on social graphs without judgment, but just looking at people's networks. So younger people, immigrants, people will be able to monetize, in a sense, their social graph, and just based on quality and duration of networks, which is very hard to fake even using artificial intelligence. You can create bots and bot armies but that doesn't work against the NEO score, because the NEO score looks at duration and persistence and quality of networks and the nodes, and how the algorithm looks at how that the overall network of an overall footprint and social graph of people, and to identify whether they're a real person or whether they're a machine representing a good actor, all of these things. So some version of that will be done before the end of the year. And that's a big game changer. Just in the US, there's over 660 million credit score pulls that are paid for by banks and financial institutions and employers. That number will probably grow. That number could be even larger in the case of NEO score, because NEO score is the patent has been extended to include machines, and we've all heard it said, if it's true, that agents in the agentic economy, where machines are interacting on behalf of humans, is going to exceed the human economy, then the demand for validation and identification and risk scoring of agents as well as humans, that demand is going to increase exponentially, literally double, triple, and even so that market will grow, because we're going beyond the traditional bank market, where banks and financial institutions being the main consumer of this score, to many other vendors and individuals wanting to use the score to vet things. So all these ZPEs, businesses use scores. And so with the advent of ZPEs, zero-person enterprises that BROK enables, you're going to see much greater demand for risk assessment on machines as well as humans. So we're there ahead of that curve with provisional patents and an issued patent. So that's going to drive tremendous revenue for neobanks. One would anticipate. I can't make forward-looking statements, but that you would anticipate that as a futurist, I would anticipate that that's going to grow. Logic would dictate that demand for that capability and that service is going to grow. So every time one of that score is utilized by any party, traditional banks and all the other parties that I mentioned, all the businesses, all the employers, that is going to generate revenue for neobanks, and that is going to generate buybacks for SPOCs and for SPOCK, the SPOCK crypto, and so that's going to have a different kind of pattern. It's going to be a little bit less volatile. It's going to be more of a steady curve. And as we add, new partnerships, new clients, that's another thing that will happen in the next few months before the end of the year. Is our API. We'll start shipping our API to partners. There's been a few partners that have expressed interest in our API, so that BROK could be baked into other tools, other people's coaches, AI coaches and assistants and digital assistants. BROK could be, maybe you have a life coach, and BROK provides a lot of that, but BROK is more specialized in health and wealth. So that could be a nice feature for wallets, for other tools that people use, websites, social media platforms. We haven't even looked at, that's not even part of the business model, really. We haven't attributed any revenue to what APIs may generate, but that could be a big source of revenue, and all based on adding utility, and such as keeps us focused on making BROK the best super robo genius private banker in the world, and gaining and maintaining and gaining and becoming ever better in that space. So that's what you have to look forward to: more and more exposures, any one of which could be viral. There'll be more press releases that will have even at least tens of millions, 10.6 million. That's the baseline now. We'll only do better than that with each new press release, each new announcement, each new TV show, and so now you're going to see. We just began that. Today was day one of the first day of our active marketing as a business, as a real utility, as something that really provides value day in, day out. Vision being BROK in every pocket for everyone that transacts in the world. That's a big market. So thank you everyone for your support, and for the people that started in this project early on, looking for more meme than utility. Thanks for hanging in there. And believe me, this is the expression of my life's work. I always succeed, and this is failure is not an option. And we are set up for a great success ahead, and more eyeballs, more attention, more awareness. Everyone that does their research only finds depth and breadth and quality, and that is in technology, that understands banking, that understands technology, that understands AI, and does their homework. So that's good. You like to. I think it's better to have. You want sizzle and steak, as they say, right? So we've got the steak. We've been building, heads down, building, developing, shipping, and now we start. Now we've got. Because my name is on this, I want to make sure that it works. So I'm confident that we've got a great system, and we've got many testimonials as well that haven't been formalized yet, but people that are comparing this very favorably and shifting, making BROK their main go-to for abandoning other models that they use. To use BROK. But thank you for being on the journey. Thank you for being part of this community, and we will talk again on Thursday at 6. And I will try to provide. There's so much going on now, as well as development, as well as planning and preparing for all of these different engagements, which take time. These interviews, and that takes me in physical form to be present for. So that may mean not as frequent communication on the platforms, not as many multiple interactions per day, but we'll continue to be providing updates as we go along, and lots of news, real news ahead and to come, and more quality production as well as product. So live long and prosper, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.